not progressive metal. You don't want any part of that. Okay. Well, maybe you do. Who knows?
Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of Ash to Ash, where Eric and I have a cigar, talk about cigar stuff, and just socialize on the internet, as we all should be doing, right? Wrong. We should be doing it in person, but here we are. We like to
That
start out
is,
every episode with what we are having today. So, Eric, tell us, what are you having in your cigar today?
I'm having a little hot cake. That's right.
Nice.
HVC makes this one called HVC hot cake. I don't know if you can see that or not, but these guys are Nicaraguan Corojo 99 with jalapa. They are an action-packed little guy. It's called a half Corona, and I like them. I've had them in the past. HVC stuff in general, I really like. They make some insanely good cigars. This particular one has a San Andreas wrapper, wood, earth chocolate, pepper, some sweetness to it because jalapa, if you normally see jalapa in the description, it's a type of tobacco. It has the sweetness. So, how about you, bud? What are you smoking?
Oh, I'm smoking something pretty heavy today. So, I'm doing the Perdomo Maduro 20th anniversary. This one will knock your pants off if you're not careful. This is a very full bodied cigar with lots of spice in it. I mean, the stick itself, this is probably a 2 hour cigar. So you need to sit down and hang out for a little bit, but keep your pants on because if you're not used to this type of flavoring, this one will be overpowering for you. But this is where I lie. I love this type of a full bodied Maduro cigar. This one also has a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco in it, coffee, leather, cocoa. Seems to be the same palette that I always like, right? But this one
Right.
does it really well, and they slightly press it, just slightly, which makes it a nice even draw. Eric, I've never had a trouble with taking a draw from this cigar ever. It's always consistent all the way through. And if I can say, the longer that you have it, the more potent it gets. So at the very end, it's really spicy.
Now, I will say I love that cigar. That is a great cigar. And from what I know about Perdomo, I got to meet this guy. I got him signed some stuff. I got an ashtray that signed and some other good stuff. But his processes are on point. He's got a draw machine for every cigar that goes out to make sure it hits the right tension and the ability to smoke it correctly.
Awesome. That's what I love to hear. This one, I think they age the wrapper in some whiskey barrels.
Mhm.
So they make sure to age it, if I remember right, for 14 months before they put it on here. Now, this is not in every single top cigar, but some places have rated it very highly. But I feel like it would be more popular if it wasn't so spicy. But I like this one because of its flavor palette. It's
If
really strong.
if I
And
was
actually,
limping into Perdomo though, which one would you get?
oh yeah, don't start with here. You need to start something a little bit further down the chain for sure. Sun-grown,
Um,
they have a lot of sun-grown ones that I
yeah.
feel like are very good starters for people to have as a cigar.
Um, I would say just my personal favorite Perdomo 10 year is probably my favorite.
That's a good one to have, yeah. And I like how you have some cigar swag from them. I love swag, man. We all love. I'm wearing a Romeo and Julieta hat today. It's frayed. I love this. This is one of my most favorite hats. It doesn't get so hot because it's got like the trucker mesh in the back of it. But anytime that we get free swag with our cigars, I don't know. I'm a sucker for it. I think that's how the Marines got me too. They offered me some free room and board, and I guess I'm a sucker for everything that comes quote unquote free.
Dude, that's so funny. Yeah, I was promised education in the Air Force, so there's that.
Yeah,
Um, I
that was it. Go ahead.
dude, this is really flavorful. Um,
Good.
I will. Here's one thing though, is they make different sizes in the same type of cigars, right?
Right.
So if you don't know this, this is a half Corona. They have um, petites, robustos, lanceros. They've got all of these what they call just we'll just say sizes. I'm not going to go down the path of baffling you with great intelligent words. This, I'm not sure you can even buy this anymore. But if you see
Oh.
hotcakes, you should probably pick it up.
So how long does it take for you to finish that cigar?
This is probably a 40-minute cigar, maybe 35.
Yeah, that one's like a good one if you're walking the dog in the neighborhood, a nice little brisk. thing that you can do. Not a big time commitment, but you just want to relax and hang out for a little while. You got some limited time. That's a great size for that type of window of time.
You know what's really interesting? Last week we did oh God, Trinidad. And the Trinidad cigar, believe it or not, was less flavorful than this little guy.
And this is what's so interesting and kind of gets you curious about different things because your palate is different than mine, and mine's different than the person listening. Everybody's thing will be a little differently, and it'll hit better depending on where you are and what you like. So this is why we always like experimenting and trying new things. Some people though, they like what they like and they just have the same thing over and over again. That's cool. That's cool. But I like trying all the different stuff too.
Well, speaking of, one of the topics I wanted to hit today was ashtrays. There's quite a variety in that as well. What do you know about ashtrays?
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of different choices. My favorite one is the free one that I get whenever I buy the cigar with it, you know? Free gets me every time. But honestly, the way that I like my cigar ashtray, I know it's so weird that this is a thing, but I need it to have a very broad lip so I can rest my cigar on it. My wife, who's very nice, thought of me and bought me a ashtray from an old Vegas hotel, but it was a cigarette ashtray, and I can't quite get my cigar on it. And I didn't tell her this. Of course, it's great, baby. Thanks so much. But here I'll show you the ashtray that I've got right now so that people can see it. It's very deep, but these little leaves here hold my cigar, and they can hold it in different ways. But I don't have to change this out every 5 seconds, and I can just set it right here. And this one has large enough that I can share it with some friends at a table. So those are really inexpensive. You can get crazy with it if you like, but the free ones for me are the best.
I agree with that. However, I'm a guy that likes nice stuff, right? Um, I went on eBay and found
Oh, tell
old
me. Yeah.
like like stone marble type ashtrays. I don't have it in front of me right now, but they have so many different colorations to the stone, and they're made for cigars. And most of those on eBay are pretty old. But I got it for like 40 bucks. And then on the one I've got in front of me right now is this little guy right here. It also has the broad place where you can set the cigar, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's specifically for this purpose. It's on my desk. It's small. It doesn't get in the way. Um, and if I've got people over, I bought like, I don't know, six of these things. They're not that expensive on Amazon. And I'll set them around the cigar lounge for independent cigar. Like you can rest your personal cigar on this one ashtray, instead of having to share it.
So that size, Eric, like that's my backyard size. I made one of those out of wood. And I made it because, I'm setting it on the ground, on the grass. I'm in my chair. I don't have a big thing. I like to sit in the grass while I'm watering the yard, having a cigar. And I just made it out of some wood. I took some wood making tools, created one that size, put a little drill hole in the end so it could drain if it needed to. And if I ruin it, it's not a big deal. But I keep it in the yard with me. So I feel like that size is good for personal use. But I certainly like the big ones a lot because they last a lot longer.
That's cool. You did your own little woodworking
Oh,
thing.
no. Okay. So what do you do with your butts? Do you do anything with your butts at all?
I toss mine in the yard when I'm done.
Okay. So I have a flower pot at home. I mean, it's huge where all my butts come into play. And then when it's full, I put them all into the fireplace, my outdoor fire pit, and burn them with the wood that I'm burning. And then, I don't know if it gets anything out of it, man. But I like doing it. I don't like anything to go to waste. I want to make sure I use every single last piece of the cigar that I can.
Man, that's awesome. I like that idea. Um, I'll catch. I've got this one spot. I'm going to give you guys insight. I've got this one spot next to my garage, and I literally call it the graveyard for cigars. And I'll get out there, and all of them when they're done smoking is just slightly less than what that looks like now. And I usually don't go too far into the burn your face off mode, but I'll go out there and I'll roll them out after they dry out over time, and they just kind of go back into the soil. It's going to be the most nurtured, nutrient-rich soil out here. It's going to be next to my garage.
All right. So do you have one of those poker sticks that you can hold your cigar up to the last minute to have?
Yeah, so I do. I actually, you know what I do? I take that auger, I call it the auger. What is the actual term for that thing?
Poker.
A poker. All right, so they have this thing, right? They have this thing each can buy. Man, I wish I would have known the name. It's not in front of me because all my cigars today are really good, and I totally have. Uh, I trust every one of these guys that if I choose this one, that I don't have to use it. But so the auger piece can also screw in at the end, and I can just hold it like a marshmallow on a
We'll have to
stick.
remember to bring ours next time so we can demonstrate it.
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah, but
whenever I travel, I take a nail with me. So
come
my
on.
yeah, because you can't bring this huge thing in your bag. So I keep a nail because I can't take my butane torch on the plane either. So I have to make do with what I'm taking on the plane. So I bring a nail with my cigars, and that way, wherever I am, I poke my cigar with my nail, and that's what I use when I'm traveling to get a draw on my cigars.
I typically don't smoke mine to the point where I can't hold it. That's just me. Um,
Me too.
I I just don't think it has the same character once it gets that hot.
I feel that same way. I don't know how people do it. Some of them they'll smoke it all the way to the very end, and like it's cool, I guess. Like if I don't have another cigar, all right, maybe I am going all the way down to the nub. But yeah, I just like to smoke it until it's almost to the end, and then there's a moment where you can start feeling the heat be really really hot, and I feel like it takes away from the flavor of it.
Completely agree. So I'm sure there's somebody out there that also say like soft flame is better than hot flame, for the same reasoning. Um, have you heard this argument?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually agree with that argument, but oftentimes, like let's say we are in Texas. If I'm outdoors trying to light my cigar, a soft flame isn't going to get it done. It's too windy here. I just can't do it. So I do burn cedar a lot to light several of my cigars, but usually when I'm inside a place and not outdoors. Like if you try to do that at the beach, it's just not going to work. And
I
that beach,
actually I tried that. I was like standing behind doors and
yeah.
yeah, that's not
Yeah.
working. I noticed that punch generally, if you get the tubo, which is the metal tube that the cigar comes in, has a cedar lined lighter.
Yeah, and I do try to use those. It just doesn't work. And plus, if sometimes you need to relight your cigar, it can
Yeah.
be kind of difficult to relight the cedar and relight your cigar. So it's always good. This is the cleanest way to burn with the butane torch. Okay, it's like 1,500 BTU coming out of this thing. So be really careful with this. But because it's clean, it doesn't detract from the flavor of the cigar. If you light your cigar with a match, the sulfur will interfere with how the cigar tastes. So we want to keep our light nice and clean so that way we can really taste whatever's in the cigar.
You know, that brings me to a really, so whenever I have a cigar lounge and there's people that don't smoke cigars very often, their first question to me always is, how do you light this thing? What's the right way to do this? And to
Yeah.
be honest with you, there's a many different ways you can do that. But if you're going to use one of these guys, the butane lighters, this is my approach and what I've seen work for me. Now, you definitely want to get the center of that cigar hot enough, but you don't want to go directly into it. One, you're going to burn your hand. Number two, it's also going to burn too much either down the side of the wrapper or too much in the center. So what I like to do is do 45 out and pull it out to where it's probably a good 2 or 3 inches from the flame at a bare minimum and get it. And you'll notice it will full on catch fire at that distance. And if you watch me at the beginning of this podcast, movie, podcast, when I lit it, I sucked in the heat and it ignited. And that's what gets you that cherry that continues. I haven't had to relight this one time.
Me either. This is why I really like this cigar. Like last episode, I was having a little trouble with my cigar. No trouble with this one at all. Once I get this one going, it's a really good draw all the way through. Now I do use, I don't know if you can see it, a punch. So I don't cut off the end of my cigar because this is how I've just done it over time. I know my own draw style. I like to take a big draw. So if I cut the entire tip off, I will burn through this cigar way too fast. And that's too much nicotine in your body at one time, right? Everybody's different. There's V cuts and all sorts of different things. I just like the poke, the nail, the punch, anything that keeps my opening small. And this, a lot of flavors in the end of the cigar too. Some people, they will dip their cigar in whiskey. That's cool. I can dig that too.
Yeah.
And some cigars actually come infused with whiskey on the ends. So the more you can keep of the end, the better it is for your draw.
I've got a Cavassier cigar that's in a tubo that's glass, and it's probably 25 years old. And
Mm.
I haven't had the guts to smoke it yet, but I have a feeling that one's been dipped.
I've done the Maker's Mark ones, the Buffalo Trace ones, the Periwinkle ones.
I have yet to find one that I like.
Yeah, me too. These are the way to go. The other ones, sometimes they're a little gimmicky. I'll try it, but this is the tried and true way. Just a regular old great cigar will
All
be.
right, so there's one thing that gets me, and I wouldn't call myself a purist, but there's usually a separate humidor than the rest of the humidor.
No.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So we walk in and there's this brand called Acid
Hmm.
and Fat Bottom Betty's and all of these different things in a separate container altogether, generally in a humidor. Why do they do that?
Um, if they're purists, they want to keep the flavors separate for the rest of us. So a flavored cigar, hey, we're not here to knock anything. Do it whatever you feel. We feel like having a cigar with friends, whatever you're smoking, that's great. Um, and there's like a few that like one of them tastes like a fire, like your outdoors fire, Nantucket, I think, something like that. And then some of the other ones have grape and cherry and things of that nature. That's cool. We just like the old tobacco way. So the further away those flavored cigars can get from my cigar, that's what I want too.
Yeah, same here. I had one, it was a tea flavored one.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like if your tobacco is good, why flavor it?
This one's good.
Yeah, this one's really excellent too.
Okay. Um, Give me your insight. Are you kind of a guy that follows the trends inside of cigars at all for
No,
companies or nothing, huh?
nope.
So you're the passive guy that says if it's in the humidor, that's what I can get. I'm going to go with that.
That's right, man.
Man, the more that you and I dive down this path, man, the more of a purist I think I am, or excited about where tobacco is going. Um, well, here's a word to you. In the next 6 months, you're going to see a whole wave of new tobacco brands and new types of blends that are coming out. I have been asked to review a few cigars. One of them by the name of McAuliffe,
Hmm.
which is a local Fort Worth brand, but it's nationally known. Actually, it's worldwide renowned. But McAuliffe released a white label, or is going to release a white label in spring of 2026. And I will say, I know you're not a Connecticut guy, but it's a good cigar.
Good. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's good.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm definitely like, you give me a terrible cigar in a great setting, I can dig it. I don't need a trendy thing. I don't like trends. I'm so boring and old fashioned. So, like, all right, can I tell you a story? Can I share a
yeah,
story?
let's go.
All right, so I'm in Mexico, and my wife and I are vacationing in Mexico, and there's a bullfight advertised in the town that we're in. This was in Mazatlan, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, hey, babe, I'm gonna go to this bullfight, and I wanted to smoke a cigar in the ring with the bullfight, and they allowed it. So I'm sitting there having my cigar. It's sunny, it's hot, just exactly what I want. And then I remembered, because it's in front of me, they kill the bull in a bloody way. They stab it over and over until that's how the bullfight ends. The bull. I'm like, this isn't what I was. I forgot about that piece of it because in my mind, I don't know what I was thinking. They do the cape and the bull, and they all ole and cheer. Nope, they also have to stab it until it's dead, and then they take it out back and make burgers out of it. I was like, I was defeated.
That, well, I hate to ask this, but how's the cigar?
This is, I was digging it so much, man. Yeah, I was like, this is a great cigar. I don't remember what it was because it was the environment. Like I'd like the environment, right? So when the environment changed and then I realized, oh yeah, I forgot about that piece of it. That's why people protest against bullfights and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, it was a great cigar for like 30 minutes, and then it wasn't so great afterwards.
I have this story of where I'm on the back of a cruise ship. I think I've said that. That's what probably one of my more epic cigars. It was a it was also a 858 Fuente. I'm pretty
No.
I'm keen on those. And then in France, just hanging out at the Eiffel or somewhere in France, I lit up, and it was just one of those moments where I'm standing in Europe smoking a cigar that they can't get, and I'm in heaven. And I just those are the moments that I can think back on, and I'm like, if it weren't for this, I wouldn't have taken the time to go downstairs and go outside and find this little patio. This this it wasn't it's bigger than a patio, but I'm sitting with people that are smoking cigarettes and cigars, and it's in this epic setting. It's art everywhere you look, and those are the moments that I love the thought of sharing and hearing people, especially you got the greatest stories, man, from Nazi cigars to bullfighting. I just
I do
love that.
when I do travel, like you're a runner. So whenever I'm traveling, I try to actually run the city that I'm in Sunday morning. When nobody's around, I try to run it. And when I'm running, I bring a cigar with me because I just like to be enveloped in the city and have a cigar. Yes, while I'm running. I know it's a little crazy.
Dude, that is you that's just why we're friends, y'all. This is it. This is why.
There's a like Oklahoma City is the one that brings up the most memory because in Oklahoma City, years ago there was the Oklahoma City bombing. So I wanted to run from my hotel to the site, the memorial site of the building where it used to be. And whenever I had my cigar with me, I made sure to stick it on like this concrete thing that it wouldn't burn out and walk the memorial in respect. And then when I left, I just grabbed my cigar again and kept going.
Wow. That is
Even
so
when I go to
cool.
a concert, man, I will do the same thing because sometimes these huge concerts you have to park so far away. So I'll have a cigar while I'm walking to the show, and then try to stick it somewhere that I know it won't get messing like electrical box or something. And then when I get out, if it's there, I'll take it and walk back.
You just like pre-thought to smoking a cigar. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's
I
so good.
promise I'm not addicted to
I'm
cigars
not
at all.
addicted. I just have to have it.
Yeah.
So, do you ever experience places that you can't smoke a cigar? I know you can find those places. They're more prevalent than not, but have you ever been told not to smoke?
Oh, yeah. And the most frustrating thing, there was a restaurant here in town, which is well known downtown Fort Worth. It has some saucers in the name, and you're allowed to smoke outside this huge patio. It takes up like a quarter of a city block patio. And I started having a cigar, and they came over, like, hey, sorry, we don't allow those here. I'm like, wait a minute, all these stinky cigarettes, you won't let me have a cigar? I'm like, no, sorry. I'm like, oh, what a annoying rule that you have. So I
That's
left them
much
with it.
better than what I was going to say. But yeah,
What,
that's
what were you
that's
going to say?
terrible.
What were you going to
Um, I'm paranoid about it. Unless it's a cigar lounge or my house, I generally just don't. Unless, and they sell cigars and I can go out to the patio of the place that sells it. I mean, that's different. But the majority of the places that I go to, I'm just concerned that not everybody's going to dig it.
So I used to live in New York City, right? They don't even allow you to smoke anything outdoors, indoors, nowhere. There are a couple of cigar places that allow it, but yeah, you people will look at you and comment if you're smoking anywhere in New York City. So, and I get it. Like, I don't want to be the annoying person. Like, there was a dog run in one of the apartment complexes I used to live in, and I would go there with my dog, and he'd run around. I'd have a cigar, and every once in a while, there'd be some kids that walk up, and I'm trying to like hide my cigar. And one day, like this 7-year-old was like, "What kind of cigarette is that?" I'm like, dang it, kid, you're not supposed to see this. It's not a
Yeah.
cigarette. This is for adults. Leave me alone, So I don't want them to see it either.
Oh man, that's good. I'm yeah, I don't want to be that guy either. I've noticed that there's a lot of it's a polarizing thing.
Yeah, we're not here
Either
to take
you love
anybody
it or you
off.
hate it.
Yeah, that's fine. If you don't like it, cool. If there's, I just want a place that I can relax, have my own cigar. And I feel
Yeah.
like in most major cities, they'll have at least a destination that you can go to. In Chicago, there's a really great private cigar mansion. It's a mansion downtown Chicago. In the basement is the humidor. And if you want to have your cigar in the humidor area, they've got a few chairs you can hang out. But if you're a member, you get to have it in the mansion. So one time, Eric, I paid the $100 day charge to go there because I just wanted to see what was in the mansion. And it was pretty cool. It certainly was. But they even had a rule in there: no hats, no hats at all. So I had my cowboy hat on because I was at this event earlier that night. I was all in black tuxedo, and I just wanted to go to this place. And I went there with my cowboy hat on, my cowboy boots to go in there. Then the guy's like, "Hey man, sorry, no hats." I'm like, "All right." So, even they have weird rules too.
I think, that's military in us that, we just kind of abide to what the rule is for dress code. We're just so beat into our heads for what we have to look like and stick to a standard. But I do have friends that would challenge that. I remember my son and I were in Charleston, South Carolina, and we were at a nice restaurant, and we had just gotten out of the car from a long drive, and I had a hat on, but I had a decent shirt, nicer than this, and button down and slacks or whatever, and and we went to go sit down, and I could tell the hostess was trying to figure out how to tell me that, but she just couldn't. So the waiter came up and he was just so brash. He was like, "No hats, bro." And my son goes, I told you they were going to say something." But yeah, that was epic. My son is actually enjoying cigars.
Wait a minute. How old is your son now? Should we even
He's
say?
Yeah, probably not, but he's less than 21. How about that?
Okay, all
Um,
right. Well, under his father's supervision, we will permit it in our state of
it's my kid, not yours.
okay.
No, but he sees me all the time, and occasionally he's like, "What is that? Does that one taste different?" And now he knows the difference between Connecticut's and San Andreas. And by the way, San Andreas are his favorites. Um,
First one is free, right? Even to get your son hooked. Yeah, first one's free, buddy. Here you go.
right now, I would say he may have three in his whole life, maybe four. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a chronic sitting in the garage watching Gunsmoke with me. But I will say that he appreciates it, and I think that there's a point, and this may be controversial, but I think keeping things taboo ends up being a problem for you later if you categorize it as a illegal drug or that kind of thing. This is the only smoke product that I have. This is it, and it's legal for my age. So I will say that for his future, he has a choice of what he wants to do, and I encourage that.
But so I've admitted that my family were tobacco farmers, and my dad hated tobacco. He would have to go out and actually pick it by hand. And he would describe the tar all over his arms. You have to shave his arms so that the tar wouldn't be in it. And they'd have, big smoker, and they'd cure it and age it before they shipped it off. But later in life, he hated it. I mean, he saw it kill his father, his sister, cancer and stuff. So remember,
Sure.
this is cigarettes more than tobacco, but there's things in this too. So when we were growing up, no tobacco at all. Even whenever I'm around my father, I know not to even talk about cigars because I'm just trying to be sensitive of him. But the two ways that I socialized with my father were working on the car and playing basketball with him. Those were the two things. I might guess that your son probably wants to hang out with dad more than the cigar, really.
Yeah, that's really what's going on, for sure. But I've got an 11-year-old daughter that loves working on motorcycles with me. My son likes to hang out in the garage, and we've got a couple of projects around here that you can always turn a wrench at my house. That's for sure.
My wife, the way that when we were dating, she was uh, 20, so her father loved the Yankees. Today, she still loves the Yankees. She would watch Yankees games with him. She told me her favorite show was Sports Center. And when we first were dating, she did watch Sports Center an awful lot. Now that she's gotten a little older, she still talks to her dad about the Yankees. But She was definitely into him because of her father.
Yeah,
That's for
you have, yeah, yeah, your wife is so cool. Does her phone constantly go do 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 do?
sure. No, she's outgrown that phase of her life. She's now a completely independent woman. She still loves her father very much. But yeah, I think I probably am following the Yankees closer than she is at this stage.
I like this podcast in particular because you get to know us a little bit better for what we're doing on this end. How what our mindset is, what where we stand firm on the things that we like doing. There is no apologies in what it is that you do. I want you to feel like if this is on brand for you, then do it, or try it. I will say that this is one of the least harmful considering my alternatives over here. This has been this is my Prozac for the 2020 year or decade. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
and you and I we've talked about this before. Like we're doing this podcast because we'd be having a cigar and talking about these things anyway. We're just doing it because we enjoy it and like to have fun with it. So we're
some of
not here to
the
pressure anybody. If
You
you like
got
it,
it, buddy. You
yeah,
got it.
we can dig whatever you dig too.
Some of the feedback that I've gotten from the previous podcasts, I've got a group of guys that go to Cattleman's or other Granberry cigars wherever, and they're subscribers of this channel. So Eddie, Bob, all you guys at the Cigar Lounge, hello. Um, Thanks for the feedback. Some of it has been. Um, I'm glad you're approaching this from a beginner standpoint because most of these guys that are coming in, they're dressed to the nines and they're talking about things that are a $26 cigar that most people are never going to pick.
And this is, I mean, I understand. Like, hey, I'm at a wedding. Let's have a nice cigar. I mean, you see it on the TV, like the sports team that just won the championship or the division. They're in the locker room having a cigar, celebrating, and it's a really nice one. So that's why people would give out cigars when their child was born. It was a way to celebrate. Here's a piece of luxury. Let's all have some time together. And that's what we're doing too. We're having a piece of luxury, even though we've debated it's not really that expensive. You go to the movies or go out to dinner, you can spend way more than this on any of those types of activities. So it's the same way. The healthy part that we feel is socializing with your friends and having quality time together.
100%. As it goes, we try to keep this short and sweet each week. This one was a good one, man. I appreciate the insight to your life to see what it looks like, your mindset for where we are with smoking cigars. Um, I look forward to the next couple of sessions. I know we're going to be talking about things that go a little bit deeper. I know we have some things on our list that we want to cover. It goes into like I call it 2.0 of cigars. Finding out regions of different types of tobaccos, what to expect and what they're doing. And also, I mean, I really want to get a list of my top fives for
Mm.
2025.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do that now that it's 2026. And maybe even what are some brands that are coming up that I think I'm hedging my bet that they're going to be big.
And Eric, I want to see more of your swag, man. I want to see all these giveaways. We'll have to do that on the next one too. Bring up some of those
And
free items. Let's see what we can get.
I cannot wait. You guys, if you didn't see the last episode, episode 4 asked you a very specific thing of find your cheapest cigar. Um, I'm looking forward to that feedback because I know I'm going to sabotage a couple of friends doing it.
That's okay. That's what it's here for. Our listener challenge. Should we do another listener challenge this episode, or you want to wait to the next one to give a
Let's wait
news?
to the next one. I think
All
I
right.
think that's a good one. I think it gives some people time to do what they need to do. If they're not used to going to a cigar lounge, please go do it. Go find that cheap cigar that the tobacconist that works there will tell you like good, bad, indifferent. If it's bad, try to find a positive in it.
Awesome. All right. So we got a full agenda for our next episode. Can't wait.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your time in this. And guys, thank you for your time. Let me wrap us up here. Uh, Smoke in good company. Take a risk. Find good company. Find a good friend. Drew, you are my good friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. See you
Take
on the
care,
next.
guys.